Welcome to edupediaworld.com. This is Somja J. Nair, your online biology tutor. The chapter is Molecular Basis of Inheritance. In this video, we are going to discuss about DNA, RNA and its structure and packaging of DNA also. In the previous chapter, you have learned the inheritance patterns and the genetic basis of such patterns. At the time of Mendel, the nature of those factors regulating the pattern of inheritance was not clear. Over the next 100 years, the nature of the putative genetic material was investigated, culminating in the realization that the DNA, deoxyribonucleic acid, is the genetic material, at least for the majority of the organisms. DNA and RNA. Deoxyribonucleic acid or DNA and ribonucleic acid or RNA are the two types of nucleic acid found in living systems. DNA acts as the genetic material in most of the organisms. RNA, though it also acts as genetic material in some viruses, mostly function as a messenger. RNA has additional roles as well. It functions as adapter, structural and in some cases as catalytic molecule. In this chapter, we are going to discuss the structure of DNA, its replication, the process of making RNA from DNA, the genetic code that determines the sequence of amino acids in proteins, the process of protein synthesis or translation, and elementary basis of their regulation. The DNA. DNA is a long polymer of deoxyribonucleotides. The length of the DNA is usually defined as the number of nucleotides or a pair of nucleotides referred to as base pairs present in it. This also is a characteristic of an organism. For example, a bacteriophage known as 5174 has 5386 nucleotides. Bacteriophage lambda has 48502 base pairs. Escherichia coli has 4.6 into 10 raised to 6 base pair and haploid content of human DNA is 3.3 into 10 raised to 9 base pair. Let us discuss the structure of such a long polymer. Structure of polynucleotide chain. Let us discuss about the chemical structure of a polynucleotide chain, that is a DNA or RNA. A nucleotide has three components: a nitrogenous base, a pentose sugar, that is ribose in case of RNA, and deoxyribose in case of DNA, and a phosphate group. There are two types of nitrogenous bases, purines and pyrimidines. Adenine and guanine are purines, and cytosine and uracil and thymine are pyrimidines. Cytosine is common for both DNA and RNA, and thymine is present only in DNA. Uracil is present in RNA at the place of thymine. A nitrogenous base is linked to the pentose sugar through a N-glycosidic linkage to form a nucleoside. Such an adenosine or deoxyadenosine, guanosine or deoxyguanosine, cytidine or deoxycytidine, and uridine or deoxythymidine. Adenine, that is a purine, and thymine, that is a pyrimidine, form two hydrogen bonds between them. Guanine, it is a purine, and cytosine, a pyrimidine, form three hydrogen bonds between them. Here you can see a diagrammatic representation of hydrogen bond between guanine and cytosine, and also you can see the two hydrogen bonds between adenine and thymine. When a phosphate group is linked to the 5'OH of a nucleoside through phosphoester linkage, a corresponding nucleotide or deoxynucleotide, depending upon the type of the sugar present, is formed. Two nucleotides can be joined in such a manner to form a polynucleotide chain. A polymer thus formed has at one end a free phosphate moiety at 5' end of the ribose sugar, which is referred to as a 5' end of the polynucleotide chain. Similarly, at the other end of the polymer, the ribose has a free 3'OH group, which is referred to as the 3' end of the polynucleotide chain. The backbone in a polynucleotide chain is formed due to sugar and phosphate. The nitrogenous bases linked to sugar moiety project from the backbone. In RNA, every nucleotide residue has an additional OH group present at 2' position in the ribose. Also, in the RNA, the uracil is found at the place of thymine, that is 5-methyl uracil, another chemical name for thymine. Here you can see a diagrammatic representation of a polynucleotide chain. Purines and pyrimidines. Purines. A pyrimidine ring fused to a imidazole ring contains 2 carbon-nitrogen rings and 4 nitrogen atoms. Adenine, guanine are examples for purines, and molecular formula is C5H4N4. Pyrimidines. It contains 1 carbon-nitrogen ring and 2 nitrogen atoms. Cytosine, thymine, uracil are examples for pyrimidines, and molecular formula is C4H4N2. Here you can see the basic molecular structures of pyrimidines and purines and examples of pyrimidine, that is cytosine, uracil and thymine. Uracil is only found in RNA and thymine is only found in DNA. And example for purine, adenine and guanine. DNA discovery. Let us talk about the discovery of DNA. DNA as an acidic substance present in nucleus was first identified by Friedrich Michaux in 1869. He named it as nuclein. However, due to technical limitations in isolating such a long polymer intact, the elucidation of a structure of DNA remained elusive for a long period of time. It was only in 1953 that James Watson and Francis Crick, based on the X-ray diffraction data produced by Maurice Wilkins and Rosalind Franklin, proposed a very simple but famous double helix model for the structure of DNA. One of the hallmark of their proposition was base pairing between the 2 strands of the polynucleotide chains. However, this proposition was also based on the observation of Erwin Chargaff that for a double-stranded DNA, the ratios between adenine and thymine and guanine and cytosine are constant and equal ones. These are the pictures of the great scientists behind DNA discovery: Friedrich Michaux, James Watson and Francis Crick, Maurice Wilkins, Rosalind Franklin, Erwin Chargaff. Watson, Crick and Wilkins jointly received the Nobel Prize in Physiology or Medicine in 1962 for the discovery of the DNA structure. Salient features of double helix structure of DNA are as follow. The first one, it is made of 2 polynucleotide chains where the backbone is constituted by sugar phosphate and the bases project inside. Second one, the 2 chains have anti-parallel polarity. It means if one chain has the polarity from 5' to 3' and the other has 3' to 5'. Third one, the bases in 2 strands are paired through hydrogen bonds, forming base pairs. Adenine forms 2 hydrogen bonds with thymine from opposite strand and vice versa. Similarly, guanine is bonded with cytosine with 3 hydrogen bonds. As a result, always a purine comes opposite to a pyrimidine. This generates approximately uniform distance between the 2 strands of the helix. Fourth one, the 2 chains are coiled in a right-handed fashion. The pitch of the helix is 3.4 nanometer. A nanometer is 1 billionth of a meter, that is 10 raised to minus 9 meter. And there are roughly 10 base pair in each turn. Consequently, the distance between a base pair in a helix is approximately equal to 0.34 nanometer. Fifth one, the plane of one base pair stacks over the other in the double helix. This, in addition to H bond, confers the stability of the helical structure. This is a diagrammatic representation of Watson and Crick structure of DNA, the DNA double helix with sugar phosphate backbone and nitrogenous bases. Here you can see the adenine paired with thymine with hydrogen bond and guanine paired with cytosine with hydrogen bond. What is central dogma? After the discovery of DNA structure, Francis Crick proposed that the central dogma in molecular biology 1956, which states that the genetic information flows from DNA to RNA and from RNA to protein. In some viruses, the flow of information is in the reverse direction, that is from RNA to DNA, the reverse of normal transcription, and is called the reverse dogma. Example, retroviruses. We can see reverse dogma in eukaryotes also in the case of retrotransposons and telomere synthesis. Here you can see a diagrammatic representation of the central dogma. The DNA is transcription to form mRNA. The mRNA causes translation to produce protein. Packaging of DNA helix. Taken the distance between two constituent base pairs as 0.34 nanometer or 0.34 into 10 raised to minus 9 meter. If the length of the DNA double helix in a typical mammalian cell is calculated, that is simply by multiplying the total number of base pair with the distance between two consecutive base pairs, that is 6.6 into 10 raised to 9 base pair into 0.34 into 10 raised to minus 9 base pair. It comes out to be approximately 2.2 meters, a length that is far greater than the dimension of a typical nucleus. It is only approximately about 10 raised to minus 6 meter. How is such a long polymer packaged in a cell? In prokaryotes such as E. coli, though they do not have a defined nucleus, the DNA is not scattered throughout the cell. DNA being negatively charged is held with some proteins that have positive charges in a region termed as nucleoid. The DNA nucleoid is organized in large hoops held by proteins. In eukaryotes, the organization is much more complex. There is a set of positively charged basic protein called histones. A protein acquires charge depending upon the abundance of amino acid residue with charged side chains. Histones are rich in the basic amino acid residues, lysine and arginines. Both the amino acid residues carry positive charges in their side chains. Histones are organized to form a unit of 8 molecules called a histone octamer. The negatively charged DNA is wrapped around the positively charged histone octamer to form a structure called nucleosome. A typical nucleosome contains 200 base pair of DNA helix. Nucleosomes constitute the repeating unit of a structure in the nucleus called chromatin, that is thread-like stained body seen in the nucleus. The nucleosomes in the chromatin are seen as bead-on string structure when viewed under electron microscope. The bead-on string structure in chromatin is packaged to form chromatin fibers that are further coiled and condensed at metaphase stage of cell division to form chromosomes. The packaging of chromatin at higher level requires additional set of proteins that collectively are referred to as non-histone chromosomal proteins. It's NHC protein. In a typical nucleus, some region of chromatin are loosely packed and stains light and referred to as euchromatin. The chromatin that is more densely packed and stains dark are called heterochromatin. Euchromatin is said to be transcriptionally active chromatin, whereas heterochromatin is inactive. Here you can see the figure of a nucleosome and an electron micrograph of bead and string structure. Thank you. In next videos, we will be discussing about transcription, translation and replications.